I get a lot of like press release stuff, and I can see how you can kind of, because you always want content for your news site or your blog, and they want you to disseminate that stuff. So it's really easy to fall into the whole trap of you take their press release, you cut and paste it, you put it in, you got your content for the day.
Right.
So I don't fault Newsarama so much for that, but when they hear about content that another site has, and then they friggin',
So what do?
Lift it.
They just copied everything and pasted it onto a column over there?
Okay. For those of you who don't know what happened, I commented about this on the channel this past week. For the Red Eye, I write a column for the Red Eye called Geek to Me, and the Chicago Red Eye. I'm sorry. If you go to redeye.chicago.com/geek2me, you'll find my blog and links to all my articles and columns I've written for the paper here in Chicago. But a while back, Image sent out. It's not up here. It's not out yet. Image sent out a press release that the Savage Dragon would be back in a police uniform.
Right.
And they wanted to push the whole local angle between the Savage Dragon and Chicago. And they approached the Red Eye saying they wanted to give us some exclusive content, an exclusive interview with Eric Larson, and Eric Larson would produce an exclusive artwork for the Chicago Red Eye. So that's what I did.
How long ago was this?
This was a few months ago.
Okay.
This is a few months ago. I submitted the questions to Image. Eric Larson, pro that he is, turned around, and we're talking. This was on a tight deadline. He wanted it by a certain time. Image approached us about doing this, like let's say on a Monday or a Tuesday. Eric Larson had all my interview questions and the artwork ready by Friday of like that same week. So because I told them, well, I've got a deadline. I want to have it by this particular issue. I have to get it into my editors. They have to approve it and all that. Turn around and he did it. So what happens? We post the page on the Chicago Red Eye website, and they sent it to me and the editors at the Red Eye, and I decided, well, we'll put it on my Geek to Me blog. I considered putting a watermark on it. I considered like putting exclusive the Chicago Red Eye and stuff like that, but I was also under a deadline too, and I was like, I'm not gonna get into this whole thing over proprietary stuff because, I actually kind of trusted the other websites, the other comic websites, to do the right thing. And the reality is, the majority of the other websites did the right thing.
Which they just linked.
They linked to my site,
right.
Comic Book Resources. Did show, they took a little piece of the artwork, like they showed the head of the Savage Dragon and Barack Obama together. But if you wanted to see the full artwork, you had to click on the link to my page on the Red Eye site. They were great about it. Everybody else was great about it. Newsarama does this whole thing where they talk about my site and how I have this, and this is the ironic part. They put on there that it was a Red Eye exclusive as well, and yet they posted the artwork on their site. They took the whole page and put it on their site. I wrote, and this was on Matt Brady's blog, I wrote a message to Mr. Brady saying, hey, thanks for mentioning it. Thanks for linking to me, but when you take the whole page of artwork and you post it on your site, that kind of takes away the incentive for folks to check out my blog.
Right.
And when you look at the Newsarama blog on that page, they have he had a whole bunch of hits and a whole bunch of comments. And so I had some comments on my page about that, but you can tell that Newsarama leached off a lot of it. They leached off a lot of it.
That's what Newsarama does.
So I was a little bit annoyed by that, and I talked to the Tribune about legal action, and in the end, it ended up just not being worth it. But
Matt Brady never got back to you.
No, Matt Brady never responded, nor did anyone at Newsarama ever respond.
That's pretty professional of them.
Yeah, and in the end, I decided, you know what, Newsarama sucks.
They do suck.
They
especially since they changed their format.
Well, they got bought out by a big
and now
media company.
Now the comic part is just
part
a
of a whole bunch of media.
Newsarama.
Crap.
I mean, even before that though, Newsarama. All it is a bunch of puff pieces and Newsarama stroking off creators, and it's just like, and some of their commenters on there are real fucking idiots. I mean, they're the people who bought and love Secret Invasion and think it's the best thing ever. But yeah, I mean. Unfortunately, like Newsarama, their website is what Wizard is to the magazine, comic news because I mean Wizard has gotten so shitty, like probably in the last 5 years, and that Newsarama is just like the same thing. It's just interchangeable at this point.
Right.
But Newsarama, like I go on there just because I go to different blogs and different comic news places because I like to see different opinions, but. It just seems that, again, Newsarama, going back to the whole mediocrity rules, that's what Newsarama is, to me. It's so mediocre, and it's just like, yeah, do they write bad reviews sometimes? Sometimes, But even some of the worst shit, they'll just, like, they always have to think of, like, 5 things good to say if they say one bad thing about it.
No.
That's so pointless.
Well, that's why I like comic book resources, because comic book resources...
I do like comic book resources.
They right now, to me, they have a lot of integrity. They're doing a lot of good things. I think they are kind of picking up the ball that Newsarama has dropped. Mm-hmm. I just gotta say...
And they have Lying in the Gutters.
And they have Lying in the Gutters.
Blog.
But I'm just really disappointed in Newsarama in that... Again, we're kind of all in this together. And, it was my one exclusive. It was my one little thing. I mean, they get shit thrown their way all the time. Yeah. It was my one little exclusive. My blog is... I'm just moving along. I'm still a rookie here. I'm still learning the ropes, and I'm building it slowly. To have Newsarama come along and basically snatch up, my one little thing. It's like the Centurion going through the village... And there's the man with his one grape that he's going to have for dessert that evening, and the Centurion who's carrying a leg of mutton and all this other crap that he's pillaged from everyone else comes and takes the grape too. And I was very disappointed because I had this strange idea that there was honor among geeks, but I guess I was.
But you shouldn't.
I was wrong about that.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sorry. Again, I have to go back to the majority of other comic websites
they
did the right thing.
No, you're right.
The majority of the other comic websites actually kind of proved that I didn't need to take all these measures.
But it's like, I think Newsarama is probably one of the bigger comic book websites now.
Yeah.
And
they're the big one.
They're the big one. Actually take something from the little guy and put it, I mean, you just made the analogy yourself, but that's just ridiculous.
I just found that kind of unnecessary.
And I didn't know about this story until you posted it up on YouTube. I'm like, what happened there? You told me the story, and I'm like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Which
I've hated Newsarama for like the longest time, and like now,
I don't care for them either.
Yeah, and I really had little respect for Matt Brady, but actually not hearing that story about Matt Brady, not even bothering to write you back, like not even the courtesy to write you back, saying, you know what, I apologize, blah blah blah, it was a mistake. They could have taken it down. They could have, but yeah.
I know what Matt Brady's going to say, though. He's going to say 2 things. One of 2 things. Either one, I didn't get your email, which is the standard thing.
Like how Joe Quesada hasn't gotten your emails about asking about the price increase at Marvel.
So that's the one thing, and I know he would say that. And 2, well, we didn't lift the artwork. We linked to your site, and you had to like click on another link to see the artwork, but you never left the Newsarama site to see it. Mm-hmm. And it was there the whole time. And they even put right there, click here to see artwork. So it wasn't like click, whatever. It just kind of pissed me off. Yeah. So, hey, I just say, I'm forgetting about it. In fact, I haven't even thought about it since just this week. So
I'm glad I can drudge up these horrible memories for you.
Thank you. So I'm filing that away to I don't care anymore. And you know what? Karma's a bitch. That's all I can say. So we'll see. We'll see you folks back for Last Rants.
That wasn't a last rant?
It's too much to talk about.